Welcome to this edition of the Wireless LAN News Desk for August 3rd, 2018. My name is Tom Carpenter, and I'm the CTO at CWNP. This week in the news, what I want to focus on is some of the releases here in 2018 from the Wi-Fi Alliance. They have released both certifications and specifications related to wireless connectivity and wireless security. So I thought it would be good for our community to get an overview of what these various technologies are. And I'm just going to go by date of the technology overview document. So the first one I'll talk about is Wi-Fi certified EasyMesh, which was released as an overview in May of 2018. It is based on the multi-AP specification, which is available for download, and you can see the date is June 18th, 2018 for the initial release of this document. Now, what Wi-Fi certified EasyMesh is all about is about allowing us to have something that's non-proprietary for building mesh networks with our access points. Particularly in consumer spaces, this has applicability. The only problem I see with this is there's a big motivation from vendors to have a proprietary technology, so you can only use their APs with their mesh network, tying people into that. So we'll have to wait and see how well the industry adopts this. I'd love to see them do it because in the consumer space, mesh is becoming a very common way to get coverage and capacity all throughout your house, especially with tri-band radios today. So when you look at the specification, you can see they're focused on doing better with coverage than a single access point can do. There are just a couple of terms I want to point out based on the multi-AP technical specification that you'll need to know about when working with this. And they are controller, agent, and of course, gateway. So the gateway is the thing that allows you to connect to some other network, the internet or any other network for that matter. The agent is the term in the multi-AP specification for an access point. So each access point is effectively an agent, and then there's a controller. Now the controller may be in the gateway, it may be in one of the access points, it could even be a completely separate server that's acting as the controller. But the controller is the thing that configures everything. The APs can report back to the controller information about what they're seeing on the network in order to request an optimal channel configuration, but all of the APs are configured by the controller, and you could think of it as centralized radio resource management because it's going to bring it all into the center where the controller decides how these different APs are configured for 2.4, 5 gigahertz and any other bands that we might have in the future available to us. So we have the agent, which is an AP, we have the controller, and of course, there is the gateway, and one device can be a gateway, a controller, and an agent, all of those for that matter. The actual link, the EasyMesh link, can be 2.4, 5 gigahertz, or wired Ethernet when we're dealing with the various different EasyMesh links that are interconnecting the EasyMesh. So this is one specification. I would encourage you to download it and read over this overview document to get more information. The next one we've all heard about, Wi-Fi certified WPA3. The technology overview document simply defines, as of June 2018, what this is all about. And what we're looking at is simultaneous authentication of equals, or SAE. The goal is cryptographic consistency and network resiliency because protected management frames are required if you're using WPA3 SAE. And you can see further on in this document that it gives you protection against offline dictionary attacks, key recovery resistance, natural password use because of the way things are configured. The argument is you don't have to worry about as complex of passwords, and you can use those that are easier to remember, and simple workflow continuity. So it's easy to use with system maintenance and so forth as previous versions of Wi-Fi security. Again, WPA3 Personal is based on simultaneous authentication of equals, or SAE, and if this becomes adopted very heavily, it could certainly be a very useful technology for our voice over IP handsets and things like this, even in enterprise deployments, if for some reason you don't want to implement enterprise-based fast secure roaming. You can see there's also transitional support, so you can have a BSS that supports WPA2 and WPA3 at the same time. Of course, that keeps the old WPA2 problems there, but it does give you transition as you move into the future. There's more information in here about WPA3 Enterprise as well. I would encourage you to look at that and then download the WPA3 specification version 1 document. As you can see, it's dated April 9th, 2018, and OWE, or Opportunistic Wireless Encryption, which, as you can see, this specification is dated also April 9th, 2018. The final one I want to talk about is the one that effectively replaces WPS or push button security. It's called Wi-Fi Certified Easy Connect. And they're putting a big focus on QR codes, but don't be confused to think that you have to use QR codes. You can use pins or passwords, something else as well, in order to get the initial setup going. This one also June of 2018. The goal here is for IoT and other devices to be able to set them up to connect to the network, to introduce them to the network. And I think one of the areas where we could see a coupling here is with Wi-Fi Certified EasyMesh and Wi-Fi Certified Easy Connect being brought together for the smart home, IoT, things of that sort. Now, there are a few terms you'll want to familiarize yourself with here too. For example, we have the configurator and we have the enrollee. The configurator, don't be confused, is not necessarily the AP. It could be that the AP is running the configurator and there's a web interface or an application you use to access it in the AP, but the configurator can also be an iPhone or an Android with some application on it that does it. See, the key is you're building the network with the configurator, and then devices can enroll on that network, and those are enrollees. For example, an AP can be an enrollee to the network based on your configurator being in a mobile device, for example. So you can see that here in that the configurator is a mobile device and the access point is the enrollee that's actually enrolling into this Easy Connect network. So this is yet another specification. It's based on the Device Provisioning Protocol, or DPP, which, as you can see, was released on April 9, 2018. So take a look at these overview documents that I've shown you here, as well as the specifications. They're all available for download from the Wi-Fi Alliance website. These are things you need to be familiarizing yourself with for the future. Certainly WPA3 is going to catch on. There's no question about that. EasyMesh, Easy Connect, we'll see with that. I do know that with Easy Connect, there are various different vendors that are already talking about how they're going to be implementing it. So I think we're going to see that one catch on pretty quickly over the coming 12 to 24 months. EasyMesh, again, there's going to be that potential resistance there. We'll just have to wait and see whether or not the vendors buy into this non-proprietary solution so that other APs can be used in the mesh that they are also building. Of course, it's possible they could use EasyMesh and then still do something to make it so that only their APs can participate in the EasyMesh that they are building. So we'll just have to wait and see how all of that plays out in the future. Well, thank you very much for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure you take advantage of conferences.cwnp.com to learn all about Wi-Fi Trek that's in San Diego this year in October. You'll want to make sure you get registered now so you can get a hotel at the same facility where the event is occurring. We've got some great keynotes there this year. I'll be giving a keynote on the first day. Chuck from Aruba will be giving one. Robert will be giving a keynote from 802 Technologies. So this is going to be an exciting year. Great pre-training as well. Go to conferences.cwnp.com to learn all about it and register today. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next week.